Hello everyone, this is Dion Soul. I hope everyone is doing well. And today we are looking at the G1000 E1000 with the G1000. I said that kind of backwards there. And everybody else has done a review on it, and so I just thought, what the hell? I'll go ahead and do a review on it as well. Um, so I thought I would just throw something together here. This is an unplanned, unscripted, review of the Epic 1000. The Epic 1000 is by Aerobask, and in true nature of trying to get the proper information to the right spot at the right time, I am just winging it. So here we go. Here is the at the org, the G1000 by Aerobask. This is an update. If you don't have it outright, it's a $34 purchase. But if you happen to have they'll send you an email of a code that you can upgrade if you have a previous owner of the previous Epic, which my version was the Epic 1000 Skyview, which was version 10, and then they made it compatible with X-Plane 11. And then after that, they decided just to go ahead and rework the entire airplane to facilitate all of X-Plane 11's features. And I'm expecting them, Aerobask, to do this exactly again when X-Plane 12 drops, whenever that happens. I would imagine X-Plane 12, just my gut feeling with X-Plane 12 is they'll probably drop that in the next, I would say, 2 to 3 years tops. I would say probably 2 years from now at the very. Actually, let me digress. I think in the next 2 years they'll probably drop X-Plane 12, and the reason why is because they need to keep their constant cash flow going and keep. It's a perpetual industry where you got to keep on. Companies need your money. And I can understand that. I don't have a problem with that. But it is what it is. And then when that happens, then all the airplanes that we have now with X-Plane 11 we'll have to rebuy. But now I'm going off on a tangent here, so I'm going to get back onto the Epic 1000. Now this does not have the Skyview, and so this will be all around the G1000, which is obvious reason this is the G1000 edition. I am hoping that they'll just add the Skyview to this, so then my purchase wasn't a waste. And as we get into this video, you will understand why I said what I just said. So anyway, so this is pretty much the airplane itself. They just upgraded the textures. They just reworked the entire airplane. Like I said, make it compatible with the version 3.0 and up, and they've added a lot of cool features. Well, not really cool features, or a lot of features, but they've added stuff to it to enhance the overall experience with the aircraft itself. So anyway, so let's go ahead and kind of do a walk around. Now let me move my OBS out of my window here so I can actually see what I'm doing. So anyway, this is my livery. This is my personal livery that I just did on the fly. I basically took the stock default one, added a blue stripe, and then was able to manipulate, because the 4K a blank white wrapper as of this recording is not out yet. So I just took what they found, an airplane that had the area where the where I could put my numbers at was empty. It was blank, so I was able to do some manipulation and make it work, and it turned out all right. So anyway, as we're sitting here walking around the airplane, just to kind of look over, Aerobask did an outstanding job as always. Aerobask is awesome. They are a very good flight aircraft modeler for X-Plane. I highly give them kudos. Are they perfect? No, they are not perfect. They do have some things that I wish they would do that they don't do. But overall, all in all, they are a big thumbs up, for me. So, and like I said, every company has their positives and their negatives. That's just, you can't please everybody, and I am no different. You can't. I'm always going to have something to bitch and complain about, because that's my nature. That's who I am. So you just take what I say, and at least it helps you to formulate your own opinion, because you know, you can say, hey Dion, you were wrong, and it's like, hey, that's cool, I don't care. Anyway, so this is what we got going on here. We've got all the static elements in. This is really, really cool. The tow bar is cool. Right off the bat, I'm going to start with a negative, that you can't do anything with the static elements. All these static elements are just there as they are descriptively said. They are static. You cannot manipulate them. You can't do a walk around with this airplane and be able to, you know, walk around, take you know, the pitot tubes off, the covers off. You cannot use the tow bar to move the airplane around like you can in other aircraft that I have. Now, granted, they are probably more expensive aircraft, but you are paying $34.95 for this airplane. So maybe over time, they will, you know, add the ability to be able to have a walk-around feature where you can, and if they want to do it in a DLC scenario along with other things that I will point out, then I have no problem with giving Aerobask more money. I don't have a problem with that at all. But I would like to see, you know, and this will be posted, you know, where, you know, hopefully you know, Aerobask will see this video and actually comment and actually, you know, take notes of what I'm saying as a customer of theirs and as a user of their products. So anyway, so like I said, we will go ahead and wish I can walk around. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna walk around here. I wish that we can actually, you know, use the tow. Maybe it's coming in future builds, you know, future updates and what, because this is using. I'll just jump over here to the no, not SimCoders. This thing. The Skunkworks, it is using the Skunkworks updater, and of course you can configure the Skunkworks updater to the way you want it. You know, you got different settings here that you can apply, and I thought I had this applied where it automatically update when, so it didn't stick, I guess. But anyway, so like I said, it does have the Skunkworks updater, and so it's whenever they do an update, it's gonna push an update to the airplane, so you can keep your airplane up to date, which is really nice. I do like the Skunkcrafts, not Skunkworks, Skunkcrafts updater. So as we're peering around here, you can see we got the radar, you know, the radar equipment right here on the end, which is really, really cool. The other airplane, the Skyview X-Plane 10 version did not have that. And obviously you can see all the reflections and everything, how this is awesome. Now this is an X-Plane thing with shadows. For some reason, X-Plane, when you get, you know, it just kind of drops the shadows out when you get too close to the aircraft. And also too, if you have external stuff like ground handling equipment by JR Designs, when you get too close to the airplane, the airplane will clip over those images, and I don't know why it does that, because I am not a, you know, that's out of my field of expertise, so I don't know. But it is what it is. You can see it's a little bit of a cloudy day here in Lancaster, California. So the clouds have been moving around, so which is cool. You can see I currently got the GPU action going on here. The GPU is kind of the same as it's always been. It hasn't really changed. I think it's the same one, even with the G1000, the X-Plane 10 model. I think it was the same one. If I had my way, I think I'd put it somewhere else. And you also see, you see off in the distance there, you'll see live traffic coming in. I am using the live traffic plug-in. So, and you can see an airplane that's kind of over the trees right now. Coming in to land, it looks like a Cessna 172 or something. Whether in the real world it's a Cessna 172, but at least we got the position. So we got our real world traffic happening there, which is really an awesome program, but we'll have to discuss that another time. So on the exterior, there's not really much more to report other than if you zoom in really, really close, you know, you'll start to see how I got to this point right here, and you start to see the imperfections. I'm not tripping on that. I don't care. It's like whatever, you know. It's like whatever. But like I say again, I just wish I was able to click on this and be able to take, you know, these static elements off. Like I said at the start, that's really the only thing that I wish they could do. So we'll go ahead and climb into the aircraft, and we'll go ahead and have the wiggle our way around here to get inside the aircraft here. Like I said, the aircraft texture is modeling the prettiness factor. You know, to make the airplane look pretty is spot on, which is, you know, becoming standard, or is already standard with Aerobask, I should say. I have not been able to figure out how to make the shades work, and I don't know if the shades do work or not. I mean, they look like they're in place to work, but you just can't right click on them or left click on them or anything like that, and they're not functional, it looks like, unless there's something I missed. You know, I'm looking around here, looking to see there is no tray tables for the people. So, but I didn't see any ability to be able to raise and lower the shades. We can go over here into the menu real quick, and you can see the menu. This is the actual the Epic 1000 menu, and again, when you look through the menus here, you can close the door. You hear the sound of the door here closing in here in a minute. There it is. The door and the sound is actually closing. Here's our fuel. Our fuel's kind of in balance here a little bit, so let's put in 70 gallons because we're not going that far, and we'll get kind of in the neighborhood. I wish there was an ability to be able to actually put in, instead of these sliders right here. The sliders are welcome, but maybe over here in the corner just actually say, hey, I want to put in 70 gallons here and 70 gallons here, or 140 gallons, and then it evens it off between the two, or whatever the case may be. I mean, if you want to, you know, make them different, then you can use the sliders. But I personally would like for them to actually change that to where you can actually just put in a hard value in, you know, or just click on it and have a hard value in where you can actually do that. I'm trying to get it back here to there. Now they're the same. So anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where it started. So I wish they would do that, you know, in here, so you can actually put in the fuel and go. I mean, all the kitties and that sort of thing are all fine. Everything looks good. The only time that you see the peoples is when you're out the airplane looking into the airplane. I believe, because that's the way it is on the Eclipse 550. It's the same way. So we can go ahead and get rid of the static elements. And now that we get a static elements, now you're going to see this prop start to move on its own, which if you have a windy condition, that is what it would do in the real world. So that's pretty, it's pretty realistic. That's pretty cool. I like that. Options here, all the breakers work, which is something new for this version of the Epic 1000. You can pop a breaker in and out, and you can hear the sound right there, which is awesome. I'm going to ahead and leave everything default where rain effects are on, which the rain effects are awesome if you have rain. The pop-up windows are good. All the pop-up windows are helped. So all this is all checked on. If you want the breakers not to be as reliable and that sort of thing, then you can do that. I just leave them all on. It's just one less thing that I have to deal with until I'm more familiar with this version of the airplane. Then I will start moving this slider down to become more realistic. Sounds wise, basically what they did is they took the sounds from the X-Plane 11 menu here, and it's just they mirrored these sound settings right here, where you can just easily access them right here, which is nice. I like that. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. And of course, that's all the developers and all their information, which is awesome. So, and also this is a pop out, so now I can actually move this outside of my other computer monitors that are attached to my computer, or if you happen to have a program utility called Space Desk. That's one of the utilities. I'm sure there's other products out there, but Space Desk it's a utility that allows you to basically do a virtual another screen on another computer that you have on your network, and you can just take this and drag this and drop this. I could just drop it, whatever, if I wanted to do that. But in this case, we don't want to do that because this is fine. So, because we have the GPU connected, we are, automatically comes up with the screen that you have right here, which is the two PFDs, and then the MFD is off, and that's kind of normal. You also, for your starting purposes and whatnot. and that sort of thing. And then of course, you know, we got the let's go ahead and take a look outside and see if we can, you see these are not like electrically controlled, they are mechanically controlled. So we have all our surfaces and settings. I did remove the chocks, so now that I removed the chocks, now I can move it. I didn't, you know, I had to go just for fun. Let's go over here into the static element side of things. Static elements back. There we go. And then let's see if we can still move. Okay, with the static elements back, we can still move the. Okay, they might want to make it so when you have the static elements on, you cannot move the nose wheel trim. It would disable, but a nitpicking thing right there. I mean, not that big of a deal, just a nitpicking thing. So anyway, let's go back inside, and then we'll close this back up right here, and then we will go ahead and make sure our throttle and our props and our mixture / conditioner is working. And I see it automatically put the fuel to the right tank, which is kind of interesting. Don't know why I did that, but okay. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't think any of these buttons work on the, because you hardly ever, these are always in your way anyway, so I never have them on, so them not modeling the buttons on the yoke is fine with me personally. I don't care, because I never fly with the yokes anyway most of the time. What's different too with the G1000 configuration is you see that it's got the keyboard, and you can see that it's got, you know, they rearranged this around quite a bit. Well, I shouldn't say quite a bit, but somewhat from the Skyview version of this airplane, the X-Plane 10 Skyview version. I might as well say it right now and get it out of the way. I like the Skyview version better. I think it's a far superior avionics package than the G1000. But that's my personal preference. Some people are going to. I've had somebody say, "Well, you can't do vertical navigation with it," and it's like, yes, you're right. You can't do vertical navigation. At least the X-Plane, the Epic 1000 X-Plane 10/11 retrofit, if you want to call it that. You're right. It does not have vertical navigation, but you got to fly the airplane. So, to me, when the person made that argument, I just kind of like, so what, you know, fly the airplane. So that's why I didn't give a lot of credence to that argument, because it's kind of like, well, fly the damn airplane. So anyway, but as far as everything else, they tried to put some elements of the Skyview into the G1000. Like if I want to change my altitude, I can click on the altitude thing, and let's put in 4,500 feet as an example. Now, you don't have an enter key in here anywhere, you just have a delete. So I'm one of the people that when I review an airplane or I use an airplane, I don't read the instructions. And you're going to sit there and say, well, why the hell not? Is because you know you have a good airplane is when you can just hop into the airplane, you know, with your experiences of flight simulation or aviation, and just go, okay, this is here, this is here, this is here, this is here. And I see Mr. Bug Eater 64 is in the house. Hello, sir. Yeah, I'm doing this review of the Skyview, or of the Skyview, the G1000. So welcome aboard. Appreciate you being here. So I'm one of those type of people that you know you have a good airplane when you can just get in and go. And there's a term for that. There's actually a word for that, but I don't know what it's called. But you know, if you have a problem, then you look at it. Remember, we're in a flight simulation. We're not in the real world here. And so there is a line between flight simulation and real world. Yes, we try to make it resemble as close as possible, but if you want that realism, then you just go to the next level. So, you know, that's my stance on that. But anyway, so like I said, they did put in some of the elements of the Skyview, and to be able to click on certain areas into the Laminar's G1000 to actually put in altitudes. I can just go ahead and put in 12,500 feet. Now, like I said, we don't have an enter key here, a key to acknowledge. We don't have a key to acknowledge our change in altitude, except for if you just highlight over the what you put in, then it will change it. So I kind of wish they would, like in the Skyview put in where you would actually have an enter key to acknowledge. I think that would be a better fit, but it didn't. You can do the same thing with your barometric pressure. Barometric pressure is already set, so I don't need to redo that. I think I'm not seeing any other changes. Okay, we got a change right here. Okay, you got your vertical speed. We can put in 2,500. Oh no, that's a little much there. And then 2,500. Now it doesn't display. It allows you to put it in, but it doesn't display. So maybe over time, like I said, I don't want to bore you guys too much who just jumped in. This is pretty much my review of the Epic. As for those of you that just joined in, this is the view of the Epic 1000 with the G1000. I'm doing a review. I just didn't want to do an offline video and then having to upload it later, so I'm just doing it live right now. And then, I appreciate you guys coming in and watching. So anyway, we got some hit points here and there. The typical G1000 pop out with the laminar. The pop out works no problem. You can pop this one out with no issues. Well, until I can't hit the right button again, so I can just go over here to the next to it and turn it off that way. And this one right here pops out as well, and no problem. The only one that does a problem is this one right here. It's flaky. I've had it where it popped out for me, and I've had other times where it will not pop out for me. So, it is what it is. I don't know why. I wish they would take. To be honest with you guys, I wish they would just take the pop out instead of it being in the center of the display, is to be over the screws, because you see what's uniform is you got screw holes on each one of these panels. I wish they would just change that and make it to where you can just click on that and then pop them out, and then that would be easier. So anyway, so that's pretty much the size of that there. All the buttons down here work. So those of you that are familiar with the Laminar Research G1000, they all work as normal. So I'm not really going to go into that. There's really no point. Because we are in start mode, that's why you don't see the MFD actually on right now. We're going to go ahead and start the battery, and we can go ahead, and because we're on the GPU, on the ground power unit right now, we're going to go ahead and turn on the Avionics. There it goes.
General WMJ Fox Airfield Information Victor. 1800 Zulu weather. Wind 220
Okay, and I'm not ready to be flying yet. Because like I said, this is a review, so I'm kind of being thorough in this review, so I know I'm going to bore some of you guys, and I understand that. But it's a review, so it is what it is. And then, like I said, you can press all the buttons work just fine, no problem. So let's go ahead and get everything ready to go like you normally would if you're going to fly. And we'll go ahead and put the pitos on. We'll go ahead and put the inertial separator on. We'll go ahead and put the windshield heat on. Anything else I need to know? That's about it there. And we can go ahead and set our transponder. We can go ahead and put it to standby. So the transponder is on standby. Get that out of the way. And I'll go ahead and zoom back here. What's this button say? This says generator off. Yeah, I haven't turned it on yet. And because if I was buying an Epic 1000 today, the real world, what I would do is I would not have multiple. I personally would not have multiple ones. We have the technology today with the FIDEC where you just have one throttle to rule them all, and you don't really need, let the computer control it. But that's again, that's a personal preference. For me, that's what I would do. Is just have one throttle. The beta does work. I don't know if I can, because I'm not engaged. Oh, I'm actually going to go like this. Now now the beta would come on. So anyway, so the beta works just fine. But let's go ahead. Now this is the biggie. Now this is where we're going to get into the technical side, which is going to be a technical video anyway. Here is our programming this G1000. The keyboard is a help, but in all honesty, guys, it's still a pain in the butt. It's still this is where Skyview shines beyond no other. It really you know, the Skyview is far superior avionics package than this, in my opinion. You know, but again, this is my opinion. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a flight, and we're going to go ahead and try to do a flight here. So we have two ways of entering a flight. We got it right here where I'm circling right now, and then we got it over here, down here at the keyboard. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to highlight the keyboard, push the cursor on. Now the cursor is on, so now you can see it. Now we're going to try to move around. See, right off the bat, it takes us to a new waypoint, which is going to be PM. Oops, you see right there. It doesn't automatically advance either. This is another bugaboo I have. Is I wish it would. I wish it would advance for me. PM. And then I'm gonna go over here. D. So, you know, I think what I'll do is I'll just show you how much of a pain in the ass this is. And then, because I'm not going to do a whole flight plan in here. You guys will be here for the next hour, me trying to put this damn thing in. Now you can hit the enter key right there and enter that flight point in there. Or you can, and of course now it just jumped it right there. So right now it already screwed up. Okay, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and screw it up. Let's see if I can hit clear. Do you want to delete this? Yes, I do. Now what we want to do is we're going to go down here and try to right there, and now EMD. See, this is where see you can put PM, and then you can help. It helps out a little bit with you can use your online keyboard, but the advancement is what's annoying. EMD, there you go. If I hit the enter key with the keyboard, it blows up shit like that. So then I just hit enter, enter. Okay, now it's finally in there. So now what I want to do is, now what the advantage of that is now I can go over here to menu, scroll down, you load airway, which helps, and then we're gonna see what our we are going to go airway is 186. Let's go into 186 if 186 is available for us. I see 386. Well, that's interesting. Oh, 197. My bad. 197, enter, and then we're going to go all the way down to Paradise, which is P, that one right there, then hit enter, then we scroll on down to right there, and then then we hit another load another airway. That's not what I wanted. See, having airways helps. Helps out a lot. Our next airway is going to be I'm looking here real fast. Let's see, pause to, actually, you know what? It's supposed to be, and it's not supposed to be an airway. It's supposed to be 197 to our pause, and then from pause, then we go 186, which I thought we already had. Yeah, pause 197, so it's 186. Okay. Like I say, I apologize for the stumbling and bumbling here, but this is to illustrate how much of a pain in the ass this really is, and I'm not doing this on purpose. It really is a pain in the ass. I'm looking for 186. And there it is right there. 186 all the way to Robin. Yeah, all the way to Robin. Go all the way to Robin. There's Robin. And then load. At least this is actually better than the Garmin 550, 53. You know, I forgot what it was. The Garmin 530. Sorry, Garmin 530. Because that one right there is, you know, you got to put in each individual waypoint, so at least you can put in the airways. Okay, now we go all the way to Bongo. This is going to be an actual B. B-O-N. Oops, crap. See, I wish it would advance. B-O. Instead of me having to go over here, go like this. B-O. What was it? B-O-N. B-O-N. Can I select this way? That's space. Let me see if space. Let me see if space works. No, space does not work. The backspace just puts it back, and we don't want to do that. We want to go forward. And now I just screwed it up. B-O. They need a function to be able to go to the next one. B-O-N. B-O-N-D. And then the next one. B-O-N-D-O. And there it is. Hit enter. Yes. Yes. And then we are going to do... Then it wants me to do... I'm looking. It looks like we're done. Now what we need to do is we need to put in our... where we're going, which is going to be San Diego, well, which is KSEE. So now I got to put in KSEE into this. Did I lose everybody? Oh, I lost one. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. KS. KSE. There we go. E. It's supposed to be an E. There it is. KSEE. There you go. Okay, and then we put in our approach. Select our approach. And is going to be GPS 2. No. 17. No, we're going to be 26. But you don't have an approach in here. Cancel. That's interesting, because you do have an approach. You have a localizer for, is it 27? Yeah, runway 27. So that is weird. Why I do not have an approach, unless I did something wrong. Let me see. Let me go arrival then. I'll just do arrival then. If I can just get the right button. Do arrival. Enter. Okay, we have no arrival. So for some reason it's not liking. I'm doing something wrong, or some reason it's not accepting. See, I got 17, which is not correct. I mean, it's there, but it's not correct. Unless it's the LOD approach. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that before. LO localizer, maybe? So we'll go with that one. See what that does for us. What's that do for us? Okay, that's the right approach. Well, I don't know why they didn't say 27 on that. That is strange. But okay, that's fine. Then we'll go with it. And where's Barnett at? Because that is right, because that's 27. We will be coming in like this and then coming in like this. So that's correct. Let's just do vectors. Okay, now the minimums. I need to go over here, put in 400. Very, very touchy. Very, very touchy. Load. Okay. Oh, we got peeps here. All right, so that takes care of that. So now we got our flight plan put in. So now what I need to do is I need to automatic. Right now it's set up to where it's looking for KWJF. So what I got to do is I got to go back up here and make sure that, okay, it is. It's already highlighted. Palmdale is our first waypoint, which it would be. So we're good. Very, very good. All right, so now we got the flight plan installed. So let's go ahead and start this airplane. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything here. We want taxi light on. We got that on. Got that on. Go ahead and start. Supposed to have this right around here. The conditioner. And I'll get rid of the GPU. once go ahead and make sure our doors are closed. Doors are closed, ground handling GPU off. Okay, now we're working off of the battery. Okay, when I turn off the GPU, the battery automatic switch automatically comes on. At least that's been my experience so far. Trim, air pressure. Now it's putting the air pressure. You just heard it click in, the air pressure. We're on the right fuel tank. Fuel tank, we're looking good on the fuel. Let's go ahead and set our takeoff, which is right about in there somewhere. Flaps are up. Interesting, you know, they simulated the. See, I'm messing with the pitch trim right now, and you can see the amps changing, which is pretty cool. So we're at takeoff mode. Everything is in the green. Go ahead and turn the air conditioning on. It is kind of cool, so we'll put it right about there. Take a look outside, make sure everything is on, lights are on, we're blinky blinky, we're all looking good. Very nice. And you can see the effect of the prop, or not the prop, the exhaust effect going right over the airplane, or the center of the airplane, and of course it's hitting the tail, obviously, because that's what's kind of in line, which is pretty cool. And we'll go ahead and release parking brake. And this thing just takes off. I was gonna do ATC and everything, but I think I'm just gonna fly and just go. And as I'm multitasking here, trying to switch my preferences to. You can hear my dog crying in the background. You just heard the plane switch. I'm hoping my sound levels are okay. I think they are. And of course my dog is making noise. And we'll just go ahead and take off. I just don't want that extra layer of we are currently at runway 24, so let me go ahead and turn on our lights, strobes, lights, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Strobes on. Everything looks fine, looks good, that I can tell. I think what I'm going to have to do is pause real quick. And I'm going to have to get rid of this dog because this dog is making noise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blink myself out so that way we can that way you need to see me anyway. And then let me pause and I'll just be right back. Alrighty, I am back. So got rid of the dogs. Dog stops making noise. Prop set to takeoff. You got to set the and looks clear from what I can tell. So we're just going to introduce fuel and just get heading out of there. Yeah, it's going to take off like a rocket. and you can hear the sounds of the seat, which is really, really cool. I was watching John Fly stream, and he said he at the time he didn't understand what that was, but in actuality it was the seat making noise. When you're doing a lot of G's and whatnot, the seat sits there and creaks. So the G1000 is not bad. It's just that when you get used to the Skyview, Skyview is far better. Flaps up, gear up, positive rate, all that other happy stuff. We're on our way. And we'll go ahead and make a bank turn here. I'll go ahead and set up our indicated altitude. And just go ahead and have the airplane turn. We're climbing at 160 indicated airspeed, and we're going to the Palmdale first waypoint, which is right over there. And again, I got rid of the X-Plane experimental flight model. I went back to stock X-Plane because the experimental flight model I've lost, as I said in my last video, I lost 6 airplanes because of that damn thing. And the fact that I just been in a funk flying. So now as we're climbing here, I can take this moment here.
Solis Wings 2 Delta
and
Mike, you have traffic.
I got a message.
8 miles at 8,100 feet.
We got a new pilot on Solis Wings on the SimBuddy network. And I think that is probably Mr. Bug Eater 64, who is in the house. So everything looks good. I'm kind of backing off on the props a little bit here. Burning 110 gallons per hour. And I think I want to make sure that
Solis Wings 2 Delta Mike, you have traffic at 12 o'clock 6 miles at 7,000 feet.
My what you call it? Oh, there it goes. Now it's starting to line up. My yaw dampener is activated, so it is following the flight plan. That is good. When you're doing vertical navigation, 2 things. On vertical navigation with the G1000,
Solis Wings 2 Delta Mike, you have traffic at 2 o'clock 6 miles at 8,500 feet.
What did I set our altitude? Okay, you set it at 15,500 feet. The vertical navigation, the VLAV, does not work, or does not indicate, in the G1000. Right here you don't see when you put on VNAV, it doesn't show up. I wish it would. So if you hit the VNAV button, you don't know if the VNAV is active or not. So I wish, and that might be a laminar research issue. I don't know, but I have learned not to mess with the VNAV because you have no indication that if it's even active or not. You can change your frequencies, with the mouse, which is good, and you can change your navigation radios with the mouse as well, which is good. Now those are something that's not again, that is not stock X-Plane G1000 or G1000. That's Aerobask doing that. It'd be kind of nice to have a bank limiter on it, and of course my mouse pan was sticking again. The only thing I know to do now, going off on a tangent here, off on a side note, the only thing I know to do now to be able to try to get rid of this periodic mouse sticking problem that I've been having with my panning is just to trash my X-Plane 11 install. See, I just did it right there. and then just reinstall X-Plane over again, and I really don't want to do that because that would entail basically a day of just reinstalling the flight sim, and I just don't want to do that. So we are heading to Pomona. We're heading towards Pomona anyway. Clear skies here in Southern California. Which reminds me, I need to make sure that my weather is updating, and it is. So that is doing its thing. Get rid of that window. Get rid of that window. Yes. Bug Eater 64, yes it does. It only happens in X-Plane, and it started happening after this latest version is 3.2. It's 11.32. So it's something either in my install or, I don't know. It's just messed up. I just noticed we're doing 260 knots indicated. I'm going to back this off to our props down to 1500 RPM. Let's see if we can squeeze a little bit more juice out of this thing. That's the attraction of the Epic 1000, is the fact the airplane, for a turboprop airplane, it's fast. Very, very fast. I'm not going to say it's the fastest, but it is fast. Yeah, William, I agree. Bill, Bug Eater is... I think you're right. I think the next update that happens, I will, then if it still continues, then I will trash it and start over. Because I'm not in betas. I don't think we're in betas right now. I think this 1132R1 is the release candidate version. So I think it's the right version. And I do have the, let me go ahead and do some cleanup here. I just realized I need to do some cleanup, and I need to get rid of the inertial separator. Go ahead and get rid of those. Dooga. Make sure everything is A-okay. Leave the heat on, leave that on. That's good. Props are okay. I don't know why we're getting a weirdness with the, you see how it's stuck? See, right now it's stuck right now. You see it. That's my mouse sticking. And you can see the little zoom window, which is kind of cool. It was just because it was too close. That's what it was. Which is weird. See, over here on this side, you can put the flight plan right here. But it doesn't follow you, so you actually have to go in here and follow yourself with the cursor. At least I think so. Yeah. Yeah, you do. I like the G1000 in the context of if you turn it on, like I said, you're supposed to be able to pop out this, and for some reason I can't pop it out. I can zoom in and out, no problem, but I can't pop it out. I can pop this one out, no problem. And I can pop this one out over here, no problem. But this one right here, I cannot pop out. And I don't know if that's a me problem or if that is a flight simulator or if it's this airplane problem. What I need to do is I need to load up the EV55 and load up the EV55 that's got John's G1000 in there, which is a stock right out of X-Plane, no modifications, and then see if I have the same problem with the pop-outs, just for comparison. I won't do that now, obviously, but I think I need to do that, and then that way I can determine if that is an Aerobask problem or not. Because I know Aerobask is using the G1000, or just load up the Cessna default Cessna 172 G1000, same thing. So I hope everyone's doing well here on a Sunday. Everyone's doing fine here. It looks like I'm going in the clouds, so that's going to make things interesting. The airplane's not bouncing around like crazy right now. When I jump over here into sky view, we don't have any conditions, but I did notice something here when I was setting up my flight, that right here, here's KWJF, I live down here in the real world, but then, so I looked, and we got this all set for a space launch. So I guess, over here at Mojave, they're going to be doing a space launch of some sort. So that's, I have to keep my ears out for that. See what happens there. Other than that, nothing else really. You know, it's on down here, and mine's a little bit different than this actual, but yeah, nothing special. Just getting it on down. Clouds look pretty good as we're flying over Southern California. Looking good. I think we are currently flying over, let me have a look-see. Turn everything on here so I can find out where the heck we are. We are currently flying just south of Pomona right now, heading towards the 60 freeway, which unfortunately we're not going to see because we're actually flying completely right over it. And of course clouds. There's that Mr. Proper Jeremy character. How you doing, sir? I hope you are doing well, my friend. Just doing a Sunday afternoon flight at 260 knots at 15,500 feet. VFR. Conditions, virtual flight rule conditions. Well, not conditions, but just how I'm flying it. Actually, at this moment, it just looks like IMC right now. I can't see a damn thing. But what I was going to say earlier about the G1000 is you can go in here and go over here to map, and you can turn on the terrain, you can turn on the airways. Airways are cool, but I don't need them. But turning on the terrain and whatnot, and traffic and everything, you can see the traffic in here. Like you can see a traffic right there. I like the, and then if you have weather, weather will pop up in here too. And also, well, you can see the terrain right now. We're in the green right now, which means there's no conflict. So, all is good. I'm sitting there taking a look at my emails real quick. Because that's what you do when you fly in the real world. You take a look at your emails, and now we're, looks like we're going to turn here at Paradise. You just heard the auto switching of the fuel. It auto switches fuel every 10 minutes, I think it is, 5-10 minutes. It automatically switches the fuel tanks to try to keep the fuel tanks even. Because right now on my left tank, I'm currently at 58 gallons, and in the right tank I got 79 gallons. And it just switched to the right tank. I may have to turn that off and just leave that on for a while and have me manually switch it. But everything looks sexy. Take a peek outside in a 360-degree cam. As we're flying over a reservoir that I don't know offhand, but that is over here. My mouse working? Yeah, my mouse is working. That right there is Interstate 15 freeway, heading on down to Lake Elsinore. And on the other side of that, that right out there in the distance towards the ocean, that would probably be Fullerton is kind of like right over here. Santa Ana, Costa Mesa, mostly Costa Mesa, Santa Ana, and all of Orange County off in that direction. And like I say, back behind us, it's slowly, rapidly becoming out of our view because of the clouds. Of course, over here, if we was looking off this way, then we started getting into Hemet and Sun City and a bunch of other areas out there off of the Highway 215. But you can still see Interstate 15 right there below us. A little bit. Let's descend to 13,500. And we'll descend at 1,500 feet. We'll back off on our power a little bit. I'm going to try to get below the clouds so we have more scenery. And besides, I don't want any ice because right now we've got -1 degree Celsius, which means we're going to be taking a load of ice here if we're not careful. Did I hear it just switch again? No. Just a little bumpy on the seats, I guess. Swig of tea. Get my eyeballs up here a little bit. See if I can see anything that I can recognize. Oh, on this side. Well, actually, we're flying over Lake Elsinore right now, so we kind of missed that. There's Lake Elsinore right there. Lake Elsinore, you're coming on around. Keep on going. And of course the clouds are going to obstruct our view, but then we'll be getting into Temecula. Having a brain fart, trying to remember what the name of the place is. And of course out that way would be Camp Pendleton, of course a little further down. I wish they put the San Onofre nuclear power plant. It used to be right over there, and then of course they closed it. So my dad worked on that back in the early 1970s. I think it went operational in the mid 70s. I think it was. I'm not for sure. I was a little kid at the time, but my dad actually worked on it. He was proud of that. The company he was working for. Yeah, we're gonna go down a little. Well, let's go down to 9,500 feet. Or where are we going? Yeah, we can go down to 9,500 feet. I'll try to get below these clouds so we can have some scenery to look at. Chasing the clouds. Yeah, with Sky Vector, it's not showing me the clouds. Sky Vector's, as far as Sky Vector is concerned, there's nothing to see here. Of course, until I went to the other switch, and now you see the clouds. And we're gonna have clouds all the way. Well, the clouds, according to Sky Vector, the clouds we don't have is if we actually flew into KSAN and actually San Diego Lindbergh Field itself. But we're committed, so we're going to go for it. Let's progress through our flight plan. So like I said, the G1000 is all right. It's functional, it's usable, but Skyview is the way to go. You know, Skyview is the bomb. It's where it's at. Far superior in creating your flight plan or putting the flight plan into the system. Now you could just cheat and then just go over, use a utility like Lil Nav or whatever, and then build a flight plan there, and then save it, and then just load it in here, and then you're done. So then you don't have to worry about it. That's an option. But as far as not doing that is concerned, what's our, let's see, I'm 10,068, so 68, so I want to stay below, below the, airspaces, so I need to go down to 5,500 feet. Lost and found out that way. All the happenings is over here. There's Interstate 15 right there. That right there is Highway 76 right there, I think, going on your way into Oceanside. I'm just looking at something that's familiar. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. We're not quite into Escondido yet. We're close to Escondido, but not exactly into Escondido yet. I need to set that as a waypoint. Okay, there's Escondido right there. So you're going through all these, the lost and found area, right? We must be flying over Lawrence Welk Retirement Park. I see we're taking a little bit of bouncy. Because right there, this is Escondido right here. That right there is Highway 78. That takes off and goes into Oceanside as well.
East Wings 2 Delta Mike, you have traffic at 3 o'clock 1 miles at 9,200 feet.
Oh, now it's doing the switchback to get to bongos or whatever that was. We got a little bit of disturbance in the Air Force. Out here is Ramona area and whatnot. See, these are two waypoints that are close together, so that's why we are just kind of zipping and zagging. I needed to do should have done a better job in that one. Flight planning there. Because now we're coming back around. Need to look and see where we're at. Yeah, see now we're in Escondido. Hopefully, I think we can start chilling out now. All our zigging and zagging. Autopilot didn't like that. Having those waypoints close together. But that's Escondido, California, USA. I have no idea what the population is. Actually, I haven't been down to Escondido ever since my grandmother died in 2014. I haven't really had a need to go to San Diego, and so I think I've been to San Diego maybe once, or San Diego area once since 2014, maybe twice. This is my birthplace, but it doesn't matter. I don't. You know, I live up here in the high desert in northern LA County. Still got family down there. Lots and lots of cousins and things like that that I don't even know their names. That kind of thing. I think everybody has that. And we're at 5,500 feet, and that right there looks like that's Lake Hodges right there. Oops, my mouse is acting up. That looks like Lake Hodges right there. So Escondido South, you come on over here, and then the bridge is right there, which you can barely see because of the clouds. No, the bridge is actually right there. Yeah, and there's the walk bridge right there. They spent a lot of money on that bridge, and why I don't know. There's a bridge over there. Then you're coming into Rancho Bernardo, and then Rancho de los Penasquitos is right around there in that area as well. As we're heading on down. Little tour of Southern California. And I bored somebody to death and they left me. You just can't please everybody. We'll go ahead and get down to 3,500 feet. Right? Yeah, I don't want to push anything lower than that. Actually, we're already in the neighborhood already. Let me see if this thing is going to set me up for the approach. Let me get back here to the correct spot here. No, it's going to go right to San Diego. It's not going to... So how do I activate that approach? Direct. There we go. So now I'm going to... Now I just activated the approach. That's good. And what's my altitude? What am I supposed to be at? 4,900 feet. I'm already there. $4,900 feet. See, this is where the VNAV would come into play. I can just tell it, hit VNAV button. Just tell it to follow the VNAV. But again, if you hit it, I don't see any. See, on my XHSI stuff that I have that's outside the sim, I see it. But in the sim itself, I do not. Bill, you still with me? Matter of fact, I'm just going to get on Discord at this point. Why not? I think I heard a ding.
You did.
And now I gotta check my sound because my sound is so weak. Everything's okay. So how you doing?
Yep. Bear to Midland was playing where I got my Warthog set up. And so I was fine tuning on DCS World with the Huey.
Mm-hmm.
Huge difference. Man, this thing's nice.
You getting all giddy?
Yes.
Getting all giddy with it?
Yeah, it's so precise.
Very good. That's good to hear. Let's go blow stuff up.
Made a big difference in X-Plane too, because it's so precise and fine-tuned that It makes flying the planes great.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just having problems with this mouse. Everything else is fine. I'm just having mouse drama. My only problem. All my other peeps left me. I just think it's just me and you, and that's it. But that's okay.
Well,
I'm doing a review, so you know when you do
Yeah.
a review, you know it's different because I'm being anal attentive because I am going to give this to Aerobask because I really think Aerobask needs to do some things. I like it. It's a good airplane. I mean, it cost me $19, but you know I already had the original. But it's like I went backwards a little bit. You know, I went forwards on the model, and yeah, I didn't illustrate the rain effects. I'll probably have to get on the ground, force in some rain to show off the rain effects. But as far as the navigation aspect of it is concerned, yeah, it's kind of like they went backwards.
you know, I wonder if that pop out for the center MFD
Yeah.
has anything to do with the little MFDs in the other two.
Yeah, I don't know because
Can we try closing them out and then see?
Yeah, I've popped. I mean, like right now, I'm popping them in and out right now. Is that what you meant?
No, you've got the small inserts
Oh, okay.
on the MFD.
Yeah.
If you
Close
close them,
yeah, okay.
and then see if the center MFD pops out.
All right. I'll close that one. No. No. Nope. Nope. It's just being a. It's just
No,
being.
okay.
Still being an ass.
Just a thought.
Yeah. Still being an ass. Now I lost my zoom capabilities now. There we go. Okay, now I'm lined up. Let's see if I can go into glide scope mode.
Yes, let's see the glide slope.
Glide slopey. The glide slurp. Well, it's turning, so that's good. But I'm too high. It needs to get me out. It needs to get me lower. It's not doing that. So I'm having to, because I got to get down in a hurry.
Well, I'm guessing that V nav is not operational.
Right. In the Coronado, am I going down too hard, too fast, or too early? I think it's on the other side of that mountain. Oh, there it is. I see the airport now. But I just haven't. It hasn't captured the glide scope yet. The glide slope. I'll just say it wrong on purpose. Because I don't see my little triangle yet come up on my stuff. But on the when I'm using the GTN 750 with the Coronado, the twin engine, the twin commander, it follows. I mean, even if I'm in visual approach mode, it's like a glide scope. It just takes it right on down and just practically lands for you. It's really good. Now, so far, that's been about the only plane that I've seen that does that.
1000.
Yeah, I'm still not in the. Of course, this is a localizer too, so. A little low now. It's just keeping my. It's just keeping me on the airplane itself.
500.
on the airport. Guess I better slow myself down some more. And I put my gear on. Okay, it has to be my plane now.
300. 200. Minimum. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
A little rough. Not wanting to slow down. There, everybody slow down. Now I made it.
Gonna have to check to see if you've got wingtips left on the right side.
And let's do some cleanup. That was a little rough landing, but hey. And I did not have my inertial separator on, but now we're back on another runway. We're backtracking the runway.
Yeah, the guy in the tower is going crazy.
Mm-hmm. It didn't capture my, it captured the localizer, but it didn't capture, because this doesn't have ILS, so it didn't capture my speed down. So, which is what it's supposed to do, so. But anyway, we made it here. We'll find a parking spot. I don't see any T things here, so we'll pick this spot as our parking spot. And there we go. Parking, they're set. It got rid of the, but like I said, that's my biggest problem, is this stupid mouse driving me nuts. And there it is. All off, power off. Not to checklist stature, but that's okay. I'm not tripping on it. Now if I can just get the right hitbox to unlock the door. There it goes. Oops, I had it. Had it just for a second. There it goes. Kind of a cool thing is that they have, if you can hear it, you can hear the ting sound with the exhaust cooling off, which is kind of cool. Well, anyway, guys, that's my review of the G1000, Epic 1000 G1000. It's like I said, the airplane. Did I waste my money? No, obviously not. I like the G1000 a lot, and I think my purchase will definitely be validated once they put the sky view, if they use this model and just have two models, one with sky view and then one with the G1000, then I'll be an extremely happy camper. You know, I will have no complaints once they do that, and which I think they will, because you know I think they like the sky view as well. It's just the G1000 was easier to make and get to the public faster, so they can generate revenue for the company. I get all that. That's the business side of things, so I get that and I understand that. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this review of the G1000. Please comment and like, subscribe, and if you feel I'm worthy, please donate. I do have 2 donate links up on my YouTube channel, and I greatly appreciate it. And again, you know, overall the airplane is just fine. You just got to go through the pains of setting up the G1000. So anyway, I will catch you guys next time, and we will do this again. I think my next one is going to be back in the 732, trying to make money for the company. And I might live stream that one. I don't know, because my wife's coming home, probably not. I probably won't live stream that one. You know, I'll have to do that tomorrow or something. So anyway, you guys take care again, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later, guys. Bye.